Today we are going to learn about chemical reactions or chemical equations. When you write a chemical equation, the reactants are the things you start with. They are the ingredients. Then the products are the things that are produced. They are the end products. They are the things that are made. And the little arrow in between them means reactants yield products or produce products or make products. There is a law of conservation of mass, or the law of conservation of matter, that is followed, and that is why we balance equations. It says that matter, or mass, can neither be created nor destroyed, but it can change forms. And this is why we balance equations. For example, when a log burns, it still has the same elements that were originally in that log, but they have been rearranged into new compounds, specifically carbon dioxide, water vapor, and soot. So we still have the same matter, but it has been rearranged into new compounds and new forms. And that is why we balance chemical equations. The mass of the reactants before the reaction must be equal to the mass of the products after the reaction. You cannot gain or lose any matter or mass. A plus sign in a chemical equation separates two reactants or two products, and an arrow or yield sign separates the reactants from the products. So another thing that you will need to know about is that there are 7 diatomic elements that exist as molecules rather than atoms. There are 7 elements on the periodic table that never exist as one single atom. They are hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Notice there's 7 of them, and look, they make us 7. Well, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 over here. So these elements, you will never find plain one atom of oxygen. When you breathe oxygen, you're breathing O2. 2 atoms of oxygen stuck together into a molecule of oxygen rather than a single atom. And that's because oxygen is so reactive that it cannot exist as a single atom. It has to exist as a molecule. So when you see these elements and you're like, what? Why do they have 2 of them sitting there? It's because it has to. That's what happens in real life. So when you balance an equation, this is what is actually going on. Let's say you're balancing hydrogen plus oxygen yields H2O. And hydrogen is kind of like a pack of crackers. In my imaginary world, crackers come in packs of 2. You cannot get a single cracker. You can only buy a 2-pack of crackers. The same with cheese. You can only buy a 2-pack of cheese. So hydrogen's like the crackers and oxygen is like the cheese. They always come in pairs of 2. You want to make a cracker and cheese sandwich. And the only kind of cracker and cheese sandwich you want to make is this kind, with 2 crackers and a piece of cheese in the middle, which leaves you with a leftover piece of cheese. So this equation is not balanced because this is not H2O, 2 hydrogens, 2 crackers, and 1 oxygen, 1 cheese. So how can we fix this? How can we make this balance? Well, you can't just tear open the package and throw away an oxygen because oxygen only comes in packs of 2. So we have to go buy an extra pack of crackers. Instead of buying 1 package, we can buy 2 packages. And instead of making a single cracker sandwich, we can make 2 cracker sandwiches. Aha! So this is how we balance the equation. We must buy 2 packs of crackers, 1 pack of cheese, and make 2 sandwiches. Then we don't have any leftovers anywhere in the equation. That is a balanced equation. So when we balance this equation, we have 2 hydrogens before we start and 2 hydrogens after. But we have 2 oxygens before and only 1 oxygen after, just like 2 hydrogens, 1 oxygen, 2 crackers, 1 cheese. So we have to make 2 H2Os and start with 2 H2s. These are called coefficients. These are the balancing numbers that go in front of the equation. This means we have 2 packages of H2. 2 times 2 gives us 4 hydrogens. And we have only 2 oxygens times the invisible 1. When we are finished, we have 2 times 2, we have 4 hydrogens. Now this 2 goes with the entire H2O, so we also have 2 oxygens, just like we started out with. So this equation is now balanced.